let's look at the first policy for today's training and purchasing numbers, right? Now, the purpose of this particular policy is to ensure that all Crispan employees, especially the purchasing team, are aware of and implement what and what is not allowed during the purchasing process. The procedure. The following procedures are to be followed to ensure this policy is implemented. No non-inventory items will be purchased without approved purchase requests. No items will be purchased without posting into the computers. No purchase request will be signed without quotations. No purchase request will be kept longer than 24 hours before forwarding to the accounts department unless awaiting quotations. Can we go over it again?
Yes.
Are we clear? Number one is that no non-inventory. Example of non-inventory now is deep freezer. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
We want to buy deep freezer. We want to buy washing machine. And I will just call and say, oh yeah, supplier, give me deep freezer tomorrow morning. It simply means it should never happen again in Crispan. Alright? The first thing will be what? The purchase request for deep freezer. Do you understand?
Yes.
Then quotations for deep freezers. And we work with a minimum of how many? 3 quotations. Are you getting me?
Yes.
A minimum of how many quotations? 3 quotations. So the request is attached with 3 quotations. Then the purchase request will be kept. No purchase request will be kept longer than 24 hours before forwarding to the accounts department unless awaiting quotations. So all this lies with you, which means that it shouldn't stay for too long with you. If the requisitioning department has quotation, they should give you. If they don't have, then you have to get quotations. Are you understanding? Which is the only reason why the TAT policy can now be forgiven here if it stays longer than 24 hours. No item will be purchased without a correct unit of order. No order number given to any department before the purchase request is received and approved. No inventory item to be purchased without a product and purchase specifications. Now, we know the difference between non-inventory and inventory items, right? Yes, so the inventory item now, for example, is what? Tissue. We use those ones on regular basis, so they're already in the system. So, what it means now by purchase specification is you want to buy tissue, don't just stop at tissue. You can see, for example now, the purchase request has just tissue on it, and the tissue will have, for example, 50,000 naira. Do you get my point? Mm-hmm. The request is showing what? Tissue, and it's showing how much? 50,000. As a purchaser, you can go to the market and buy tissue Norio, for example, and Norio is 45,000. Do you get my point? You can now buy tissue Norio. Norio is 45,000, and you will still submit it to accounts as what? Tissue 50,000. Can you see? Can you see now? So these are some checks and balances that we have to implement. For transparency, tissue, specify which tissue we are talking about. If it's Carlos, or what's the name of that one, or Rosie, specify that it is Rosie, 150 gram, this one, that one, 50,000 naira. So you can see what he's saying, without a product and purchase specification. So that when the person goes to the market and he sees the Rosie, do you understand? He sees the gram, he sees the size, he sees the price, then it will be good for him to now make a decision. He will now be able to make a good decision, either to buy or not to buy. And if there is any reason to buy a different type, there is the basis for comparison. Do you understand? Oh, the Rosie is 50,000 naira, but I was able to buy a cheaper one, 45,000 naira. There is now reason for competition. You will not be able to analyze to say, okay, yes, the specification actually said it did not just stop at tissue. It didn't say buy tissue.
So that arrangement will start from the request.
Yes, the request these days will now have specification. It shouldn't be a blind request.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a blind request. No purchase order left at draft status. They must be printed before the order is placed with suppliers. FC, this is Sage.